Ring a ding 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 ding. Welcome, guys.
I don't got
You
my.
know, we suck at a ding, and we need a really good ding to get this show going.
Folks, we need to get our ding in order.
Our ding is a mess. It just fell flat.
Got a weak ding.
A weak dinger.
We need to talk to the doctor. My ding's weak.
Oh well, usually we start the show with a little ding ding ding, ring a ding ding.
Ringy
I'm gonna stop singing. I'm gonna stop singing. Hey guys, welcome to Anchor Watch, our late night below deck takeover of Up and Adam. And for the first time, if you're listening on Hot Messy Podcast, we are there as well. So some people love to put in those headphones and just listen away. Just listen away to us talk about dings.
I'm such a fan of podcasts, and I'm not a fan of commercials. So I went ahead and I bought I do the YouTube, whatever the special thing is, like you pay monthly. What's it called?
Is it for TV or for
no, just YouTube's. Well, the reason why I said the podcast thing is because if you, at least on the iPhone, if you have the app and you pay the monthly, like no commercial thing, one of the things you can do, you can close your phone and still the audio will play. So there's a lot of shows like Don't Tell Adam. Sometimes when I listen to your guys' show or watch your show, I'm actually listening like while I'm doing dishes or something, but I'm still listening to the audio of Adam's shows. You know what I'm saying?
Super convenient. I love that.
Well, especially with two little kids,
the way to go.
Oh, I love it. Plus, I'm such a wimp. YouTube loves to accept money from scary movies. So like all the time there's these scary movie commercials and I always have to refresh hoping I don't get, well, not anymore. I don't have to worry about it, but it's nice. Like I'll throw in one AirPod, the other ear's free. I can hear the kids. And then I'm listening to Up and Adam, doing my stuff. It's nice.
Wondering what the hell we're talking about. Crazy stuff, guys. We just heard, Rick Leventhal, who is Kelly Dodd's husband, was in a horrible car crash not so long ago. So we're wishing him the best and a great recovery because we actually talked to him quite a bit. So this is crazy that happened. And we're wishing him a speedy recovery. I hope he's all right. But let's get into Below Deck because that is why we're here. What an episode. What an episode. We have a lot going on here.
What a week. Hey, by the way, my good friend on Twitter, you might have heard of her, Captain Sandy.
Oh, okay.
Gonna name drop there.
Yes.
There. She had a book come out today. Today is the big release day. Hold on, I'm trying to find the tweet because maybe I retweeted Captain Sandy and maybe she wrote me back, thank you, and sent a kissy emoji.
Are you bragging?
Am I bragging? Yes.
Is this like,
am I friends with Captain Sandy? We're practically best friends.
So. Did you know that Josh knows Captain Sandy? Like, it's crazy. They're almost best friends. Yeah, Captain Sandy has her book that just came out today. Be the Calm or Be the Storm. Leadership Lessons from a Woman at the Helm. I mean, talk about a title. That's great.
Yeah.
Love.
So
she needs to add on here as seen on Bravo's Below Deck Mediterranean and season 10 of Below Deck.
Yeah, they at least a sticker that announces that it's the Below Deck. But I think Captain Sandy, I think she listens to the show because a few weeks ago I was talking about how I'm trying to read more, so I'm using my Kindle more instead of my phone. And then she releases a book. I mean, I think she's listening. I think
listen,
she wrote the book to help me.
I know what I'm going to be doing, and that is probably going to be listening to it. That's the only way I get through books now. I used to love just sitting in a corner and like reading a book. That does not happen anymore. But when you have it on the car, on the go, or just in your ears, it's great. So guys, we also have Captain Sean joining us in just a little bit to take some of your questions. And we do have a few questions. So he'll be joining us just in a little bit. Captain Sean is in the house. He loves this photo.
House.
So speaking of, I want to bring this back up really quick. Let's see, where is this?
We had
Captain Sandy's book. We had quite the yes. Be the Calm or Be the Storm. I want to ask you, Josh, what do you think Camille is right now? Is she the calm or is she the storm?
Well, what the third one is like, be the hot mess, like, or what is it like? Just be the disaster. I feel like the calm or the storm. Those are things that can be natural and beautiful, and one helps us appreciate the other, sort of thing. She ain't either of those, so I think she's
Listen,
be the dumpster fire.
I have hope for Camille getting here. I mean, we're back where we left off at the episode. We're back where Camille is yelling at Alyssa, yelling for the cameras. I feel like, again, if Camille is performative at doing anything, it's definitely performing for the cameras. Alyssa later in the episode claims that she is being performative in front of Frasier to try to look good, because Frasier is really working with Camille, really giving her a chance. But this intense breakdown, I mean, is this all for cameras?
Well, some of it, I think she's a spoiled child, is what she definitely feels like. So I definitely think there's that. But yeah, I think obviously she performs for the cameras a lot. There's a few times now I've seen her like do something, shoot a look at the camera, and then look away. Like, did you catch
Yeah.
it? You know what I mean? And it's like,
that moment specifically, it's this moment here where she was still going off from last episode with Alyssa. It was like, you're ruining my moment. I'm performing for the cameras. Don't you understand? Get the hell out of here.
But offset, please.
Please.
This is my set.
I'm trying to read my fucking lines. Get out.
Yeah. Okay. So here's my question for you.
Okay.
I've been looking a lot. I like to dig in. I'll hit the old hashtag below deck and kind of get the vibe of I like to keep my finger on the pulse of the below deck community.
Lord.
And
and what does the pulse tell you?
The pulse is telling me people are a little divided on Alyssa. So
I was going to get into that because we see that this episode.
Well, so here's the deal. Some people say she is kind of bullying and antagonizing Camille. Some feel I did see people say the opposite, where it's like, hey, there's nothing she asks of Camille that she wouldn't do herself. There's nothing like she's not asking anything out of the ordinary. So they think she's kind of stirring it up more than needs to be. Frankly, I land more in the camp of, I think Alyssa just wants Camille to do her job and is getting a little tired of having to literally every time go, did you do blah, blah, blah? And the answer is always, oh, I forgot, or oh, I'm getting to it. And it's like, I don't know. I can see how some people think she's bullying her, but I don't know.
N-Dub is asking, where's Alyssa from? She's from Florida. Listen, I am on Team Alyssa all the way through till the very, very end. And, at the very end, Camille comes back from doing a beach picnic with the charter guests. Already, these charter guests are already driving everyone on this yacht crazy. Like, every crew member is like, what the fuck? Like, why these people right now? Haley said it best herself before they came on. She's like, I guess it's time for some difficult guests because we've only had great guests. So she had her premonition and the dream came true. They were horrible guests. But Camille comes back.
Before we get there, though, let's stay on these two.
Yes. Well, Camille comes back and she has all the stuff in her hand. Like, she literally just got off the tender. She's coming in, and already you have Haley and Alyssa. Hey, we need you to do something, But it was almost like the tone came off a little different. And then if you don't come to Camille in a positive manner with positive reinforcement like Frasier is giving her, she's going to bark back. And that's exactly what happened. She barked back. Was it a big deal? No. But then when Camille came back, and this is how we ended the episode, she came back and Alyssa and her started going at it. And even Alyssa said, and this is where she lost me a little bit, she's second stew. She's in a position of leadership. When Frasier's not there, she's kind of in charge. And she says, if you want to keep this going, we can keep it going. Already their voices are being raised. The guests are right outside. And I'm like, you guys are both in the wrong. But I don't know if it's possible to convince Alyssa to like Camille at this point. And she has every right not to.
Well, yeah, this is one of those cases where two things can be correct at once, Like, Definitely Camille is like too much. She's just out of control. She should be let go. But at the same time, yeah, it takes two to yell in front of guests during a charter. And if you're engaged in it, you're just as guilty as the other person. It doesn't matter. Oh, she provoked me, this, that, and the other. I was justified. You're never justified in front of the guests to be having that kind of fight. And so
No. And
it's
not
just,
not when we've gone through like last episode and even this episode where Camille is getting great treatment. I mean, you got to applaud Frasier. He's doing his best to run things from like a quiet leadership perspective. Instead of trying to fix things, he's fixing the schedule, putting Camille with Frasier so he can be responsible for her.
yes.
These are all great calls. And I feel like with Frasier kind of patting her back and giving her the opportunity to be like, Frasier's like, hey, why don't you follow me? There's a reason I do everything. So just pay attention to that. You're giving her direction. She's trying to understand I'm giving her a lot of fucking credit here right now. I really am.
I know. I was like, wow, maybe Jason's the one man. Here's the deal. You said something earlier where you're like, if you don't come to her in a positive way, she's gonna bark. It's like, yeah, well, we're adults here, so I don't need to come and tiptoe to you to get you to do your job. Like
this is true. Her romance is definitely heating up with Ben, which might leave Ben kind of disappointed if she does kind of get let go. We're not sure yet, but she does run to Ben for everything right now. And I asked everybody in a poll, which has 47 votes, by the way. I said, who do you think will last longer, Ben and Camille or Ross and Katie? And 70% said Ross and Katie. How do you think that's going to go?
Sure. I mean, you just said like, yeah,
you really know how it's going to end up for both of them.
Tweedledum or Tweedledee? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like both relationships are garbage relationships. So yeah,
and they're not going to last long after this 6-week charter that they're on.
Yeah, I guess Ross and Katie will last longer because Camille's probably going to get booted. So yeah, just by default, they'll be on the ship longer together. They'll last longer because poor Katie keeps falling for this idiot every time he's sober and then has to run away from him every time he's drunk and starts hitting on any other living creature on the boat. So
yeah.
Which is odd. Anyways, that's an odd choice to me. It's like, hey, you got this girl who's totally into you. You're obviously in the mood. Why wouldn't you go with the girl but it's like, no, he suddenly doesn't see her when he's drunk. But anyways, we're going to we're going to another spot here. But like
another tangent. It's easy to go on tangents, right? I mean, this crew keeps us like on our toes. We do have Jennifer Bennington in the chat. She is one of the hosts of Gangplank Report. If you guys haven't heard it, it's a great podcast. They talk a lot about Below Deck. They're covering Below Deck Adventure. Really good. Check it out. But I was talking with Jen, and I kind of have a feeling I don't know if Camille will be let go or not because she is TV. This is our second time talking about her for more than 10 minutes, I think. She does bring this Bravo kind of.
Someone tweeted that this weekend or yesterday, and I like quoted their tweet and was like, oh, I hate that you're right. But they're like, she's a horrible human being. So good for television. And I was like,
great.
Yeah. Yep. You're right. She's giving us stuff to talk about. It's entertaining. We've got a villain. Like,
can't wait to see what she messes up next week.
It's funny, Natalie, my wife, she's been, I don't want to say forced, but she's had to watch a lot of Below Deck since we started doing this show. She watches every, and she even said when we were getting ready to watch last night's episode, she was like, I'm kind of excited to see this week and what's going on with Camille. And so, hey, she's giving us excitement for,
she is giving us excitement. Becklington in the live chat says, I have to say about Below Deck Adventure, love Faye and Carrie and hate and the entire worthless deck crew. All they do is eat, sleep, play, and whine. I'm over it. Welcome to Below Deck. It's the work hard, play hard show that is crazy. I have actually not seen a couple of episodes of Adventure. I've kind of just not been paying as much attention as I should. We know Carrie and love him. I think he's great on the show. I agree. Becklington. Faye is amazing on the show too. She's one of those great chief stews. But yeah, I've kind of like fallen off a little bit of it. But it is good. I mean, Carrie's bringing it.
Well,
sure.
Yeah, and I think part of it is we just got through the holidays, so it's like the schedule was a little hard to follow. Like who is on, who has a new episode this week, who doesn't. But yeah, it's the weirdest thing too. Last night for me, normally when I go to the Bravo app, my latest Below Deck episode on Monday is waiting for me to watch. Natalie and I, like, we sat down like after 8:00, put the kids to bed, sat down, got ready to watch it, and it like wasn't there, and so took like an hour and a half for it to show up. I was like, am I gonna have to stay? Because I know it airs again at 10:30 live.
Oh no.
Like, and I get up early and I'm like, am I gonna stay up till 10:30 to watch this damn show?
Benefits of the East Coast time.
It showed up. No, well, I'm on the West Coast. It was 10:30 West Coast. So, but luckily it showed up like, but I don't know. Anybody else with the Bravo app? Did you guys notice that yesterday? It showed up late. Maybe I'm just crazy, but
maybe you are crazy. No, I'm just kidding. No, but going back to that Becklington's comment about all they do is eat, sleep, play, wine. I noticed before the charter, when they were all going to bed, it was like still their night off. It wasn't an early morning. Well, it was kind of an early morning, 7 a.m. Everyone had a drink by their bedside table. Everyone. Frasier had a glass of champagne. I don't know which room had like 2 drinks. I'm like, do you guys just go to bed with your drink? Like turn on your Netflix, have your little glass of champagne in your bunk. How does that work?
Plus, doesn't it seem a little crazy to have a glass flute next to a bed when you're on a ship? I'm gonna ask Captain Sean what the rule is about bringing a glass cup or bottle onto my bedside table. By the way, this would actually be a really good time to bring him in because I could see him off camera screaming at us right now. He has the answer. Roll the thing, Jason. Where's that thing?
Hey, let's bring Captain Sean on. Let's ask him a few questions. Really I feel like I'm in an anime cartoon when I play. I love that. I love that little intro.
Captain Sean, you're muted, by the way. Just a heads up. Don't worry. I didn't want you to start.
There we go. I'm unmuted now. All right.
How you been, buddy?
I'm good. I'm really good. Yeah.
Hey, what's up? Can I have a glass bottle next to my bed on a ship while I go to sleep? Okay.
No. No. Never.
Yeah. Jason was pointing out we've got literally wine glasses, champagne flutes, all next to their beds while they're getting ready to go to bed. And I just thought something tells me that does not float.
Here comes my first question. And Captain Sean, thank you so much for coming in and gracing us with your presence again. We love having you here. Is it common practice to maybe go to bed with a drink by your bed on a yacht?
No. I mean,
I just wanted to double check.
It does happen. I mean, sometimes, like, yeah, I mean, people go into their cabin would do it, but I mean, not when we're working. No.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, no. Though it does happen, though.
It does happen. Well, I'm glad you're here because I do have a few questions. A lot of stuff came up in this episode, and there was a lot of decor. There's always a lot of decorating that goes on in the boat. And I got this question on Twitter from I think this is you. But who actually picks the party decor? If I were Chief Stew, I'd be scrolling for hours deciding on what to order. For some reason, I'm not thinking it's actually the Chief Stew who does that.
Well, it's okay. So in the real world, yeah, it is the Chief Stew.
Okay.
But I'll give you a little below deck insider stuff. Is so what happens is because the crews get thrown together really quick and we've got to do these charters on the fly, oftentimes like the guest will request like a certain party. That's when you see like on below deck, it's like, okay, these guests want this, and these types of parties and stuff. There's no physical way that we can arrange that. Well, oftentimes we can't physically arrange that on the show. So the below deck will be like, here's your party decorations for this particular party. And then we'll have stuff on board that we might be able to add to it. But yeah, there's it's actually, so It's the people on below deck or the producers or whatever, or whoever's designing that says these are your party decorations.
Now,
And
in
then
the real world,
to set it up though.
yeah, 100%. What now in the real world, is there another person doing that, or is it the chief stew is like, oh,
There's
I have
actually
to go shopping for this?
Oh yeah, no, 100%. It's the chief stew or myself or someone that's got a good feel for parties or decorations and then oftentimes, I mean, if we've got a really big budget, well, that's a good question. I'll answer that in a second.
Yeah, I've been actually curious about that.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on like how much we really want to spend on a party and how much. But I mean, the budget's not even the thing. It's how creative we want to get. You saw when I did the beach, that beach setup. There was so much that you didn't see that we had to get super creative while we did it. Like we did this huge banquet on this island, and like during the daytime, it looked like this ghetto island and stuff. But we cleaned it up at night where it was just magical, and that was just stuff that we had lying around. So you got to get creative. But on the show, it's the show that actually gives us the decorations, and on in real life, it's the chief stews. So all right, so this question here.
Good question. So this question for you, Sean, is does the captain get a cut of the tip, and how much does the average captain make per charter?
Well, so my most successful charter vessel was Ohana, and that was in the day, and that was back in the like right around 2006, and at that time we chartered out for $150,000 per week.
Jeez.
Wow.
And I had junior stews on board that boat that were making $2,000 a month, making $90,000 a year. The majority of that in tips. So,
and is that just in a year, or that's just one charter season?
That's kind of like one charter season. We did 17 weeks. That's where I got one of the biggest tips I ever got. I got an $82,000 tip on.
Jeez.
Yeah. And they were and they were wonderful people.
And wait,
we're all in the wrong business.
Wait, and Captain Sean, that 82,000, was it just the tip?
It was just the tip. That was the tip. That was the girth, the tip, and everything.
Wow, we hadn't had any
naughty
jokes yet tonight until you came on, Captain Sean. All the naughty yachties got excited in here.
They're like, Josh and Jason is back. Captain Sean fired him up.
I love this question too from Tess. She says,
yes.
Captain Sean, what positions would you assign Jason and Josh if they were working on your vessel?
Positions and Jason and Josh, and then I was like, what? Oh, okay, on a yacht. Okay. What positions would I assign Jason and Josh if they're working on a vessel? Oddly enough, they're like both you guys are capable.
I like how you preface that with oddly enough.
No. I mean, just because giving you backgrounds and stuff and everything is like either one of you guys are more than capable of being like a first mate on board a boat. Seriously, and I mean that. I mean that.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely, you could do that. And either one of you is would be a good chief stew, oddly enough, too. You've got good leadership skills. You've got a good eye for detail, and you know how to spot talent, and you really care about what you do. So, you've got the brain power to do both those jobs.
Well, I wonder though if it's
thank you.
You're welcome.
First of all, thank you. But I also wonder if you feel that way because we might work good with someone like you. Because I don't think all captains take kind of the approach you take. Like,
God, no.
Yeah. I mean, you definitely. It's interesting because when we've talked, before just off camera, and you just kind of telling us about the job stuff, like you're very much not only into the actual the boat and all of that goes with it, but then like you talk about like the theatrics, the experience that people are getting, the moments you're creating.
Exactly. And what the one question I ask in every interview, I say, what business are we in? And I've only had one person get this right. And the answer is we're in show business. And
100%. I mean, you
That's
see,
it.
you see even like this episode with Captain Sandy, and I know she did this a lot last season on Below Deck Med. Well, more for weather purposes than anything else, but she had the tender pick up the guests and arrive on the yacht already set up with the toys out. And I think that is such a cool way of coming onto the yacht. But something that,
100%.
like you talk
I know
about,
Captain Sean's even told us about that, where he likes to have the yacht set up and the
Yeah.
tender arrives on this like majestic view.
Well, you look at like every great Bond film has that great opening, and you want people like, you know, you want people to, that they walk on board and it's bang, and they get that. Something, and if we don't have that, sometimes I'll go for more. I'll go for more of a slow burn coming in, and then that evening they'll get the bang out of nowhere. Like I'll do like an impromptu fireworks display or something crazy. I'll go in an anchorage of the great white shark, and it'll. Then actually, I've done that. I forgot to tell the guest, and one of them jumped overboard, you know, after dinner. But anyway, that's another story.
God. Okay. No. You know, I do have to say, watching Captain Sandy this season, a lot of people have, you know, she has this kind of stigma of being very present, being very kind of micromanagey, which I honestly haven't seen from her in a long time. And I truly enjoy watching her on the show, but she is kind of all over the boat. And it kind of reminded me of when we saw you on season 9, those first like episode and a half, you were kind of everywhere. Are you that kind of captain? And is every captain like that?
No.
But how do you really feel?
Yeah.
No. It was funny. I was talking to a family that owns a boat that shall go nameless, and we're going to probably wind up letting go their captain because he doesn't get service. I'm sure he's like everybody that's in the pilot house. Hopefully they've got the license. They've got the knowledge, but it's not just running the boat. It's running a 5-star hotel. It's running it's a Michelin star restaurant. It's all of that. And we all have to work seamlessly together. And that's what a lot of people that are captains don't get. They don't understand the service side. And then if they do get the service side, they don't necessarily understand the theatrical side of it too, which is also a big part.
I like how you put that though. It's a 5-star hotel you're running and a Michelin star restaurant. Yeah. It's like, yeah, that's and especially if I'm spending $150,000 in a week, I better be staying in a 5-star hotel and a Michelin star restaurant.
Absolutely.
When I was, when like on Bravo Eugenia, that boat chartered out for $2.6 million per week.
What?
I mean, listen, I think I sent you a picture, Sean, but I just took the boat out. And it's not like a boat. And I saw Bravo Eugenia, and I was so happy that I could tell people, I'm like, I know that yacht. Let me tell you all about it, what the interiors are.
Wait, is that one that Captain Sean took you on? Is that one that Captain Sean took you on?
No.
This is one I would love to go on, though.
Okay.
Yeah, that's maybe. Well, I got stuff to talk about. We'll talk after camera. But anyway.
Okay, I have one more question for you, Captain Sean, before we let you go, and I hope you're going to stick around so we can catch you after. Captain Sean, so glad to see you again, as we all are. How does a regular charter differ from below deck reality charters?
Great question. So the below deck charters are generally shorter than a real one. They're both. I didn't mean real charter. No, they're real. They are actual. That was the one thing that impressed me about Below Deck. They are real charter guests. They are really chartering the boat, and we are really giving them an experience. But how does it differ? You'd like to think the cameras don't make a difference, but they do. Some of the guests and the crew for the some part are playing for the cameras.
Sure.
And that itself changes the whole dynamic of everything. I think that's the biggest difference, is that you're always on camera. So some people play up to it, some people don't. and some people feel that they need to. Like a lot of the people that come on the charter for the first 2 days, especially guys that are in heavy, like really stressful business situations, they'll do nothing but sleep for 2 days. And that doesn't,
Wow.
if you're doing a 4-day charter on below deck, that's not really exciting television. So
Yeah,
this is true. I mean, I guess it just, I don't know. It would be hard for me to relax, to really, really relax and enjoy. I guess if you were going on a charter and you know you were going to be filmed for below deck, it's going to be party. That's what it has to be.
Well, if you guys, like, I'll tell you, you know, again, like part of our job is to read, I had like a famous case. I had this Russian guy who was, he ran the largest car factory in the world. And for the first 3 days, he just wanted to decompress. And then he started to come alive as the charter went on. And then he was like playing with his kids and doing everything, but he had to just make that transition. I've got a couple of questions that I get asked. So
Yeah, please.
These are just real quick. So, anyways, he goes, what was the best diving I've ever seen?
Ooh.
And that was from
I would
Anna.
love to know that.
And so, like, and I said 4 different places. So was one time I dove with a humpback whale off Nova Scotia. That was pretty amazing. That was literally from I could have reached out and touched this thing, and it swam by me and actually moved its fin out of its way so it didn't hit me. That was really wild.
Wow.
Yeah, no, that
would be like having a building cruise past you. That's insane.
It was literally like, and the whale was, I looked right in its eye and I said, "Hello, Mr. Whale." And I mean, he didn't answer back, but
as you do.
And then it was probably, it's Richelieu Rock in Thailand was pretty amazing. That was with whale sharks. And Poor Nights in New Zealand, which is on one of Jacques Cousteau's most amazing dive sites in the world. And that was the underwater sea life there was crazy. And then probably was one of the craziest dives I ever did was up in the Northwest Passage. I chased a pot of narwhal underwater with a dive scooter. So
wow.
They're like fictional characters for me.
Like a
narwhal. Like who has seen a narwhal? Well, you have. Captain Sean. Of course, who else?
And then I got one. So let's see. And then I got another one. It says boxers or briefs.
It would depend on the outfit, or
no, commando.
Oh, okay, yeah. Hey, it's the easiest way to go.
There you go.
You got to be ready to move and defend yourself if needed.
That's true. That's true. You don't want to be restricted.
Yeah, no hindrances.
Commando's the answer. For those of you, that was from Diana. And then we've got.
Thanks, Diana. Great question.
Yeah. And then the other one was like, will I ever write a book? And the answer to that question is an absolute yes.
I know that it's in progress, as a matter of fact.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Listen, the adventures that you have had and just how much information you've given me on this industry from all of the boat shows we've been to and showing me the insights and the ins and outs and how things work. This is sounding awful. Our minds always go crazy here, right? They go, I know. It's, no, but there's just so much more to this industry than what we do see on TV. And you would be the one to write a book about it.
Well, that was one of the things that I got invited to dinner in Monaco, which, by the way, that date got moved up. And
okay.
Yeah, so that's got moved up to the 23rd of February. And the topic of the dinner is an economic forum of owners dinner at the Monaco Yacht Club. And it is, how can we change the image of yachting for the positive? And that was the topic of the dinner. And I had, like, I think I'm going to 100% make it for the 23rd. And you can be my date, Jason.
I would love to.
There you go, Adam.
I'm going to expedite my passport has expired.
Yeah. and also too, I had to sign just one more thing, and then I'll let you guys go, or you let me go. Is I signed a ridiculous NDA on something that is so ridiculously cool, and which I can't tell you about. But anyway,
you leave us hanging like this, and guys,
But I mean, it's some wild stuff. It's actually it's been a project or it's something I've been working on for close to 20 years.
Wow.
And will it eventually be public where we can all celebrate it and see it and talk about it?
A little bit, but yeah,
this
is
it's so crazy.
Just the tip.
This is the shit Adam does to me too. He's like, "Oh my god!" I'm like, "What? Like, you can't do this to me. You can't just leave me like this." He's like, "I got to tell you something," and then he like hangs up the phone or something like that. That's what you just did to us. So I just want to let you know.
Well, I'll let you know as it progresses and as it goes forward. I'll definitely, you guys will be the first to know. And then there's a few other questions too, which is but we can get to those at another time.
Yeah.
Yes. So Sean, you will be back either next week or the week after, I hope.
100%.
If you can make it. And guys, if you want to ask Sean a question, it's very easy. You can DM him on Instagram or Twitter. You can reach out to Josh and I, Instagram or Twitter, or you can comment below this video right here. We go back, we read all the comments, we make sure we get to them. And Sean is a wealth of information, especially when it comes to questions you might have about Below Deck.
Or anything else for that matter.
Yeah. You need advice if you're doing any kind of painting at home or a home project.
Oddly enough, I just put paint samples in my office today. I mean, it's like,
well, thank you for being here, Sean. And
anyway,
we will see you next time.
All right. Talk to you later.
Sean.
Thank you. Man, we are so lucky to get that. Like, just get the answers, get the information.
He's a
Sean,
good friend.
Good friend, open book. We love him. We love Captain Sean.
By the way, you mentioned that we go through and we comment like later on to those who aren't joining us live. Like, definitely. Like, I think we had like 100 and something comments on our last episode. Probably a third of them are me going in and answering people, but I love it, guys. Like, it's at night. Like, I'll go through and like it's so fun reading your takes. There's people who disagree with us, and I'm totally cool with that. Like, I actually love that. Like, I like that we have a space where everybody feels like they can voice an opinion and no one's going to tear them down and stuff like that. So please, if you guys, throughout the episode, if there's things you agree with or disagree with, let us know. And then also, you guys are so good about hitting the like button. Thank you. I know it's so corny. You hear YouTubers talk about it all the time, but it is such an easy way to show your appreciation, and it does wonders for the algorithm and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, if you can hit the like button, I'm not a hypocrite. Anytime I watch something on YouTube, I hit that like button because I know it's an easy way to show appreciation, and it helps the person that was doing this. So thank you guys. Thank you for
100%. Josh, I want to, before we get back in here, you did a poll because we're about to introduce these new charter guests.
Oh boy.
Do you have it, or do I need to pull it up? Oh, I do right here.
Oh,
so
good.
Josh did this tweet, and when I screen captured this, it was that at 1:11 last night?
No, it was today because it was. Oh wait, how does it say 1:11? There's 2 hours.
I don't know.
52 minutes left.
There were definitely more votes.
Oh no, that wasn't when I posted. Oh, maybe that's East Coast time when I posted it.
Maybe. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Okay.
So that's probably me awake at 1:11 in the morning. Oh, that's nice. Are these guests too much? Because we're getting these new charter guests. It's Karan is his name, and his family, his friends, are the new guests. And Rachel is very excited because they're Indian, and she spent a lot of time in India, and she is ready to cook them the best spices and make them feel the heat. Which kind of blew over like a dead dinger. But you said, are these guests too much? 82 votes. I'm sure there was plenty more, but 95% said yes.
Yeah. So here's the thing.
Okay, here's the thing.
They were way too much. I mean, look, I get that people are excited. They're going on a charter, they're going on a yacht, and in some ways they deserve to cut loose and just have fun. But they were, in my opinion, a tad on the obnoxious side. They arrived and were very demanding, like literally right out the gate, with everyone's ordering crazy drinks and being demanding about the labels. And yeah, I think, I don't know. And then as it went on, their demands on service and stuff. Yes, they deserve to get what they want, but
yeah, it was definitely kind of out there. Like the very first thing they did, I mean, in their preference sheet, they stated that they love hookah. They don't go anywhere without hookah. The first thing they do is come on and like, can we smoke hookah here? Because we want to smoke it in different places. And I'm like, why does that matter? Like, like obviously you're not going to be. That's weird, right?
But also,
I don't know. That just kind of like threw me off a little bit.
I'm sure they'll work with you so you could smoke your hookah all over the boat. They'll put you in the dinghy and let you out there to smoke it. Whatever you want to do,
smoke it on your dinghy.
Calm down. Like that's a list of demands. Like as they're arriving on the boat, it's like, or just shut up and look around and enjoy the opulence and the beauty of it all and take it in and just take a deep breath. We are on vacation in this beautiful location on this beautiful yacht. Instead, it was like, okay, I have a list of demands. Can I do this? Can I do that? I need this kind of label drink. I need it. And it's just like,
you just got here, but just like the crew, they wasted no time getting wasted. They were like, shot. We need the tequila. I need a margarita. Screw the champagne. Like, give me the stuff. I mean, they were drunk in like the first 15 minutes, I think. Like, food was being made for them, and they were like ready.
And they're so screaming, we're hungry. We want food. And it's like, we told you you're having lunch at 3 and you agreed. And it's like 2:00. They're like, where is it? And it's like, I don't know. Do we need to slap together some cheese sandwiches to hold these drunks over? Like,
I mean, listen, I was really excited for Rachel because I think she was really looking forward to cooking for these guests. And, she loves spice and she spent a lot of time in India. And I think she thought she would wow them. Like it really did. And I thought she would wow them. But everything she put out at the beginning just kind of didn't go over very well at all. I'm a little shocked about that.
Well, Natalie had a good point. She's like, these people are saying her food is horrible or doesn't taste good. We've seen far too many people wowed, stunned, and shocked by her food. So we know it is not her food. It is them being.
It's preference. It's them being demanding. It's them being playing for the cameras like Camille, like someone just posted. You know what's crazy? Speaking of hookah and smoking, I didn't know Frasier smoked. Did that throw anyone else off?
I was taken back a little bit when I saw
I was taken back too. I was
also
like, Frasier,
wait,
so
Jason, stop. I got yelled at in the comments about this. It is not Frasier, it is Fraser. Right? Now
I just always think of the show, so I'm like, Frasier.
And us Americans, we usually say Frasier, but it's Fraser, right? No,
Fraser.
Is it?
Frasier.
That sounds wrong to me now. Great. Folks, I'm sorry. We'll have him. We got to have him on. Then he could tell us how to say his name.
Exactly. That's it. Shelly Tarbett says that Frasier smoked the first season. I guess I just missed that. I don't know. I guess he did. That was season 9. I wasn't paying too much attention.
Yeah,
it took me back a little bit.
Don't get him started, guys.
Also, speaking of smoking, these guests they enjoy cigars in their preference sheet. And I did hear Fraser. God, now you have me like second guessing what I'm going to say. Talk about how he knows a little bit about cigars. Well, he wasn't there to light the cigars for the guests, but the cigars were being smoked backwards. And you brought up a good point, Josh. They didn't even cut the cigars or anything. Like, that's so gross. Like, I can't even tell you guys.
First of all, I don't know how they're getting a draw through there. As somebody who does occasionally smoke cigars, and I've got to smoke really nice cigars with people who can afford really nice cigars. And I never once thought of not cutting that thing, first of all, and smoking it backwards. I mean, even if you've never smoked a cigar before, have you not seen old Warner Brother cartoons? Like, the band is close to your finger. Like, just think of an old drawing. But yeah, these guys literally had the cigars. I really wish you had a photo of this one, Jason, but they literally had the cigars backwards in their mouths. The rolled tip, the pointed tip on the end is sticking out. They looked like a bunch of knuckleheads, and I was dying laughing. And I will say a lot of the because I keep my finger on the pulse of the community, a lot of the Twitter sphere was just was with Tess. They were dying laughing.
Utterly ridiculous. I mean, you can tell when you're doing that backwards.
Well,
you really can.
The way they were demanding and the way they were apparently hookah pros, and then they were like, "Oh, cigars! We want our cigars and stuff." I was like, "Okay, surely these guys have smoked a million cigars too. They know what they're." And it's like, nope. They must have seen on a television show or in a movie, or maybe they saw a James Bond movie and they saw cigars. And I'm like, we're gonna try those when we get on the yacht. And then these morons stick them in their mouths backwards and light the butt and start sitting there trying to smoke them. I was amazed when I saw smoke coming out. I was like, how are they drawing through these things? Those guys,
that was my number
really
one.
hard. Those guys were sucking so hard to get that.
That was my number one moment from this episode, like for sure. My other favorite moment was when she needed a paper napkin to spit out her food, her chorizo that she did not like. You saw that, right? I was like, this is crazy. But I love, here we are with Frasier again, giving us these great anecdotes here. Frasier says, when you deal with chefs, you're handling fire. Sometimes feedback is not worth upsetting the chef, and the secret is between myself, the guests, and the trash can. This is a service pro. You just know. You know when to go to the kitchen and talk to the chef, and you know when to sit this one out, because it's just not worth it. And I think with Rachel, even though she's very calm this season, she's very like in it to win it, like really. Oh, yeah. And I like her excitement to cook and stuff, the way she goes to the kitchen, how she gets excited about the meals she's going to make and how creative she gets. We see her calm, but I think if Frasier were to run to the kitchen every 5 minutes and tell her, hey, they hate this, they don't like that, we might see a different side of Rachel.
Well, here's the deal, Jason. We will never see another side of her, at least for now, because Bravo and her are on the outs. They did not, she's not happy with them. And she's like, I'm done with you guys. And I was thinking of that last night when I was watching this show, and I was like, man, she's so good. She's putting up with these jerks. She's trying to like change to help these people enjoy the experience. And she's trying to up the spice level, which is something they kept complaining about. Nothing was spicy enough. And I thought, man, this stinks because I'm not going to get to see her again. Like as it stands right now, she's not going to be on more Below Decks. And I was just reminded of that last night when we were watching the show.
I haven't, and we haven't heard anything about it. I don't think she's mentioned any more stuff, but it was right before BravoCon. A lot of the Below Deck people have gone off to about, they have the highest ratings in Bravo, and they feel that they don't get adequate pay for, being reality stars. And even though the stews and the deckhands are very replaceable, I think that being a captain, being a chef, being a chief stew, a bosun, those are 4 roles that you really know. You get to know them, right? And they become stars. Look at Kate Chastain, Hannah Ferrier,
Frasier.
Frasier is like,
and we're gonna have him for, I hope, like a few seasons at least. Like he's someone that I think will definitely be back, and I welcome that. Like I think he's great on the show, and he's only going to get stronger and stronger and stronger in the actual role. And it'll be cool to see that, that growth over time, because he's already starting so strong. But like,
I would love to see him evolve. Like, I know he came out in an article, and sorry that I'm misplacing where that was from, but he said that it was really hard this season. It took a toll on him. Not only are you the chief stew, you're on the biggest boat they've ever had on Below Deck, right? And you have a bigger crew. You have 3 stews under you. It's like very different. And then you probably have all of that pressure to be this new chief stew. You are the first gay chief stew. You have a lot of people looking at you to, are you going to be a star? Are you going to be able to fill those shoes that no one's been able to fill since Kate Chastain left? It's definitely interesting. Definitely interesting. Okay, I do want to talk about our deck crew, because we really haven't talked a lot about them yet from this episode. Not a lot happened with them, but this is what I'm going to say about Tony. If Camille's not bothering me, Tony is bothering me. I like Tony. I love his energy. He has a great attitude. This guy wants to be there. He wants to see the world. It's just everything is just always a complaint. The anchor watch schedule. He needs a breath of fresh air before he goes down to, I don't know what he does with the anchor. He doesn't.
For
I don't
literally
know.
the 1 minute it takes to raise the anchor too. He acts so
Right.
dramatic.
I'm bored. Okay. Well, I'm so sorry. We can't keep you entertained while you do your job.
Yeah. We'll strap a Game Boy to your head while you work. This guy, and he's slow. And I think I was laughing when he had the audacity. So one of the things he's been complaining about is, I'm so tired. I'm not feeling well. My head, I got this sinus headache and blah, blah, blah. Ross kind of pointed out, like, hey, you're waking up at 4 a.m, like a full hour and a half before you even need to wake up. Not just be on deck, but like wake up. Maybe if you're feeling sick for those days, look at that face. He's
so
like,
tired. He's so tired.
If, Ross kind of suggested maybe sleep, a few days during those morning wake ups instead of getting up early and maybe catch up on. And he's like, no, it'll be even worse if I don't do my moaning and humping on the on the deck for an hour and a half. It
cannot get any worse. But I do have to say he is very receptive to Ross's constructive criticism.
Is he?
He's like, he's like, he doesn't want to be the lowest on the totem pole. He doesn't want to be the weight that's dragging behind. Like,
he is the slowest guy, and he even said to Ross, I am so fast when I work. When you tell me to do something, I'm the fastest one here. And it was like, hold up. No.
Hold the front door. That didn't happen.
Yeah. So Jason, everything you just said is totally invalid.
I'm such a hypocrite. Okay.
Why are you defending this knucklehead?
I'm just saying, like, he could have gone the other way. It's like Ross is like, dude, come on, do something. He could have gotten his feelings hurt like this one does.
Well, he kind of just he didn't handle it well. He just shot Ross down and moved on. Like, no, I cannot sleep in. It will be worse. That would make it worse. And then he just stormed off. And so it's like, it's not like he went like, you know what, Ross? Thank you. I've gone through a growth because of what you said.
But it's so crazy to me because here you have Tony who every time you see him in the confessional or anything, he's so grateful to be there. He's like, not a lot of people from my country get this opportunity to have this great job where, by the way, you're making great money. It's not that hard. You know what I mean?
Actions,
it's not that hard.
Louder than words.
I would love. Listen,
when I says the good words in the confessional and goes, "I'm so grateful to be here." Then he steps out on the yacht and goes,
"I'm bored.
I'm bored. Why can't I be a guest?" It's like, dude, you're getting paid to be here. What do you mean? He sees a ski boat goes by and goes, "Why can't I be pulled by the boat?" It's like, dude, what are you here for?
What are you here for, Camille? Sometimes I confuse them. I don't know why they're there sometimes because they just.
That was the right thing you said. When I'm not bothered by her, I'm bothered by him. And you don't want to be that guy because then when she leaves, which we all are hoping she gets fired, but deep down we really don't want her fired because we want a villain there the whole time. But
come on, you can't get scenes like this. Camille and Alyssa going back and forth. Alyssa's saying, "You want to keep going? We can keep going." They get louder and louder. The guests are like, "What the hell is happening?" I mean, maybe the guests might like this.
Shelley Tarver
maybe it might be the one thing they like.
Actions speak louder than his humping noises.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
You know what I do say? The deck team, even without Camille, I mean, they don't seem to notice that she is gone. Okay, I want to jump into our last thing of the night because we've kind of covered a lot of stuff that's happened within the episode. The guests are obnoxious in the worst way, we know. But when Ross went to go kind of hunt for like, okay, where is a good beach that has some requirements from what they want? When Sandy, who went on the Tinder with Ross to go look for an appropriate beach for a beach picnic, barbecue, whatever, she found that beach. It looked good from when she found it. When she pointed it out, she's like, there it is. It's perfect. I was like, yeah, that looks like really nice. And then Fraser arrives.
Wait. It did look good at the crack of sunrise when the roosters are still crowing and nobody was on the beach. And then all of a sudden they leave, they bring Fraser back and someone has strewn garbage, let loose stray dogs, and parked a bunch of cars like that are like old beat up cars. It suddenly looked like, oh, this is the wrong side of the island or the wrong side of the tracks for the island. Like, it was horrible.
Like, you know, like you expect on a beach excursion, especially on a yacht charter, that you're going to pull up to a beach. It's going to be very remote, if not very desolate.
Clothing optional.
Everything's going to be clothing optional if you want. Everything's just going to be kind of set up. It's going to be beautiful. But then when I saw the cars go by, and like you said, the stray dogs and bottle caps and trash, and then like even the little tent huts they brought, I'm like, there's really not a lot going on here. I might be disappointed too. This is the only time I felt the guests got to maybe complain. One
of their requests was like fluffy sand or something, or soft sand,
silky,
or whatever.
Yeah, some soft.
They wanted
sand.
like a sandy beach, and then Captain Sandy didn't tell them until they got back from their beach excursion in the tropical dump. When they arrived back, she said, "Oh yeah, those kind of beaches aren't here. This isn't the kind of, like, we don't have that kind of sand here. It's all rocks around these. It's like that's what that's what makes up these islands. It's like, hey, Captain Sandy, I love you to death, Captain Sandy. I do. I love you to death. In this case, you should have given him a heads up ahead of time and go, hey, by the way, we're going to take you to the beach. You're going to have an excursion. There ain't no sandy beaches here. You know, we've got to take you down to Hawaii if you want that.
Let me manage your expectations before you get there.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, they're right. Like, you go to Aruba, you go to Turks and Caicos, but yeah, this just wasn't the.
She hands him a couple dog biscuits and goes, trust me, you're going to need these. What? Pushes him off the boat. Don't forget your flea collar. What was that?
Jesus. Guys, we have 120 in the room. Hit that like button if you haven't done so already. It really helps us out. Okay. While we were at the beach, there was kind of some controversy, and I was live tweeting this on Twitter, and we were talking about, a lot of people were talking about Camille being lazy and swimming in the water. At the same time she was swimming, she was kind of mingling with the guests and kind of taking their, I don't know, I'm giving her too much credit, maybe, but I feel like she was kind of taking their attention off of the beach, having a conversation with them, making them drinks in the water. I didn't think it was that big of a deal. But
did you guys know Jason's a horrible person? You're finding out tonight. He's a horrible person. He is empathizing with the most horrible person we've ever seen on the show.
Listen, I might not love Camille, but I kind of want to see her stick around. I can't believe I'm saying that. I really did.
You know what? Everybody in the eyes of the land deserves a fair trial. I think you are being a really good defense lawyer, Jason. So, you know what? I believe in our Constitution. I think you're doing a good job upholding it. You're standing up for this moron, but she deserves a fair trial. So
she deserves a fair. You want to see the underdog like make her like. Can you imagine if we got this Camille? Let me bring up a picture. I mean, guys, this was the best scene on Below Deck we've gotten in a long time. The very end, when Alyssa and Camille are going at it, and it's just not stopping. And look at Alyssa's face here, taunting Camille, just smiling. She's like, keep going, girl. I'm going to get you fired off this boat. But wouldn't it be so fun if you saw a complete turnaround? We've never seen like that complete turnaround. You know, Reagan got sent home. Jason left the boat on Med, both on Below Deck Mediterranean. It would be kind of fun. Okay.
Marianne said, Jason, give it up. She is the worst.
She is the worst. What am I talking about? Why am I trying?
No.
I'm trying to be hopeful.
You know what, though? I think you're being a good storyteller. You're saying, wouldn't it be an amazing like story arc, this character arc, to see her rise up and be a better person? Sure. Yeah. But also,
just probably not gonna
there's
happen.
only one Luke Skywalker in the galaxy, and she ain't it. So
Jesus. All right, so let's leave it there. We have another episode coming out next week. Live chat. Josh, what are we looking forward to?
I mean, more of this. Oh, what we're really looking forward to. Here I am going to bleep. What we're really looking forward to is the resolution of this fight, because all we were left with was Captain Sandy coming in going, hey, guys, keep like knock it off. You have to stop. I thought the editing was a little creative because they made it look like Captain Sandy was stopping them and then they continued fighting and stuff.
Right.
You know, the two of them aren't that stupid. So I do think once she came in and squashed it, they stopped fighting. But I do want to see, because Captain Sandy's not just going to go like, well, okay, I broke up the fight. Let's move on. You know, she's
going to bed. Yeah.
Like she's going to deal with it. Something's got to happen. She has one party of the two that fought was told, this is your last charter to prove if you can stay or not. Something tells me this is not a good, this ain't in the stay column. You know what I mean? When she's deciding on what to do here.
Here's the trick we get into, though. You know, when people really want someone gone, and like I said, I really think, and I don't know if it's something that they have to have a certain amount of crew. This is a great question for Sean next week, by the way. If they have to have a certain amount of crew for the guests, but you could really do without Camille, right? The exterior doesn't miss her. I think the interior could kind of get on. I'm not sure. But I'm looking forward to seeing that. I'm looking forward to seeing the night out after. And if Camille makes it to the night out, because if Camille does make it to the night out,
earrings are coming off. Earrings are coming
down.
off. Someone's going to stab someone else with the heel. I mean, this is going to get brutal.
Okay, one quick question. Jennifer Bennington, guys, Gangplank Report on Apple, Spotify, anywhere you get your podcast. You got to go check it out. They're covering Below Deck Adventure, doing all the great things. We love their podcast. Okay, she asked, do you think both will be reprimanded or just Camille? Because, I mean, listen, from what it looked like, Alyssa was kind of taunting her to get louder. You know, I think,
you know what?
Alyssa wants her to make that mistake.
Alyssa was loud too. They better both be reprimanded, in my opinion. Like, you both fought. I don't care who was in the right, who was in the wrong. You're both raising your voices. Yeah. Elaine said, I hope they are both in the wrong. Yeah. Yep. It takes two to fight and it takes two to yell at each other. So they're both guilty on that. You know.
Sorry. Shelly, you're awful for this. Shelly says, I want Ross to bang Camille, so that will shake it up.
What?
I mean, it really would be great television. I'm just saying. Okay, I'm just saying that it would be great.
Even crazier is I read that as Frasier. I was thinking Frasier. I want Frasier to bang Camille, and I was like, "What is happening?"
I don't think that's gonna happen.
We've lost control of our chat room. Guys, thank you so much. Please, if you haven't yet, hit that like button. Like, thank you guys. That silly little like button. It does more for us than you guys could possibly imagine. It's our tip on the boat. So
it's our tip on the boat. And we do love some big tips around here. I think we're going to be getting a bigger tip tonight from your likes than the crew is getting from these guests that are currently on the charter. Yeah. Guys, thank you for another great show. We love hanging out with you. Josh, thank you. And if you're listening on Hot Messy Podcast, get over to YouTube and subscribe. We're on YouTube and you can watch us do this live every Tuesday at 11 p.m.
Yeah, this was fun being on the podcast feed. This is my first time on the.
Yes.
Well, no. Actually,
you were on the podcast,
but we haven't had our show Anchor Watch on the feed. This is exciting. So
yes,
thanks for joining us, guys.
Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you all next week. Bye, everyone.